Hello everyone and welcome! Last time we talked about Nagakabouros and what he does. It brought up a discussion about who are the gods of Runeterra and what do we know about them. Well, apparently not a lot, but today I want to bring some light to the topic of gods and villains of League of Legends. So let's start with the two gods that we all know. Nagakabouros is one of them. He is the god of life, oceans, chaos and motion. He is a legendary being that has an entire religion related to him. The religion says that Nagakabouros gave every being in the world desires. And as long as the being chases its desires, the world moves forward. It doesn't matter if the desire is a happy life or the slaughter of innocents. As long as they chase their dreams, they are allowed to live. The only reason why we know that Nagakabouros actually exists is that Illaoi can call on his powers. The tentacles that she summons are not her own magic. They are the creation of Nagakabouros. It seems like this fact is actually hinted in the game. All of her spells scale from physical damage. She doesn't scale from ability power at all, since she doesn't use magic herself. The other god that we know about is Vilemo, but there is a catch. Vilemo was never confirmed to be an actual god. I know that Riot said that Vilemo is the spider god. Now the question is something that is a god of one species really a god? I mean, surely he is the god of spiders, probably something similar to a broodmother. But are his powers on par with the powers of the god of life and chaos? How powerful does a creature have to be called a god? Sure, Vilemo is a god to Elise, but with that in mind, Wukong could easily be a god to the monkeys from the Plague Jungle. We simply don't know enough about him. Vilemo is a legendary beast able to consume anything that lives and moves. We also know that his venom gives Elise endless youth, but apart from that, that's it. Now let's have a look at the gods that have been hinted through the entire League's lore. The first in the line is the god of the sun and the god of the moon. Through Diana's lore, we learned that the people of Mount Targon once worshipped the moon the same way they now worship the sun. Both Diana and Leona are the living proofs that both the sun and the moon have some kind of magical powers in them. But things get more complicated if we get technical. If the Runeterra's moon works the same way as our moon in real life, the magics of both the sun and the moon are powered by one source: the sun. The moon doesn't glow on its own. It only reflects the light from the sun. If you look at Diana's abilities, you can see that thematically, her spells are the dark copies of Leona's spells. They both shoot light from their weapons, they both transform into light to travel, they both call down a huge surge of light, and they both use light as a shield. It seems like Diana isn't a heretic after all. Just instead of daylight, she prefers the cold light of moon. Some of Illaoi's quotes hint that there might be a god behind the sun.
Your god offers light without wisdom.
But she also hints that there are two separate gods for the sun and the moon.
Your god was forgotten. Mine cannot be ignored.
If we look into Freljord, we might find quite a few peculiar stories. The story of Olaf is one of them. In short, he is a warrior of Lokfar destined to die peacefully. That's why he always rushes to wars, hoping that he would die in battle. I don't think that he is possessed by some kind of magic. In fact, it seems like he lives because of Nagakabouros. If anything, he does chase his desires. Anivia Story is another one. She is a spirit that lived in Freljord from the very beginning. It almost seems like someone created her to watch over Freljord and, if necessary, to protect it. Then we have the Watchers. We don't know too much information about them, but they could be just an advanced race without the influence of any kinds of gods. If they were the creation of a god, it must have been some kind of a dark god. Next up on the list we have the Void. This is something you guys wanted me to talk about for quite a long time, and sadly I have to say that the concept of the Void is very old and outdated. So again, we don't know a lot about it. The only hint that we have is another Illaoi's quote.
Ugly thing. You weren't designed by God. You were made by fools.
Now this could mean two things. Number one, the Void doesn't have a god, nor was it created by one. Or number two, she is just taunting Rek'Sai, saying that Nagakabouros is a better god than the god of the Void. However, she stated, "You were made by fools," indicating that there were more than one of those who created the Void. This could mean that the Void is just an anomaly that was created during the Rune Wars. Before we reach the end, here are few words about Shurima. Nasus and Renekton are not gods. They are demigods, which means that they have similar powers to whoever created them, but they are not quite there. We don't know where the sun disk hovering above Shurima came from, but surely a giant artifact of such a size and power to wipe entire empire must be a work of gods. And now it's time for my final conclusion. We need clarity in the lore. No more powers that come from nowhere, no more powerful champions with no past explanation like Jax and Aatrox, and for the love of God, no more spirits. Champions like Bard and Kindred are amazing, but without explanation where they came from, they bring up nothing but questions. Riot, please give us more champions like Illaoi. Give us champions that reveal answers and fill in the gaps. If you want to progress the story, you need to have a decent base mythology. And if you don't have that, at least give us some real villains. Right now, there are no threats and there is no real evil. Everything gets vanquished few weeks after it appears. But I'm afraid that's it for this video. If you enjoy my content, give me your feedback in the form of a comment or like down below this video. You can always subscribe to my channel and follow me on both Twitter and Facebook. And as always, thank you, come again. Hey everyone, quick message to all of you. I am really sorry that my video production went a bit down, but I had a lot of work throughout my past few weeks. I have a lot of videos on my plans, really cool videos I would say. I also have the next guest for the next Necrit and Chill. And for the next video it's going to be a Christmas one, but it's not going to be Necrit and Chill, so I hope you'll like it anyway. So see ya!